How popular can a rookie really get? Well, Caitlin Clark is a good answer to that question. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game was a turning point in the league's history, where the breathtaking rookie Caitlin Clark was expected to steal the show. Clark's performance during this high-profile event impressed the fans while sending a message to her critics, with emphasis on Reeve, the team's coach. Her performance of skill and perseverance has resonated across the league as it fleshes out the rivalry between the new generation of players versus the veteran players, as well as the increasing recognition of women's basketball. The issues regarding Caitlin Clark and her omission from the Team USA Olympic squad were not new when the All-Star Game happened. Clark, who had a great college career at Iowa and an exceptional rookie season with the Indiana Fever, became the centerpiece of controversy. A perfect example of this was when she was left out of the Olympic team mainly due to a decision by coach Cheryl Reeve that turned into a major point of controversy. Based on the reports, Reeve, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx and one of the influential personalities in women's basketball, had a major role in making this decision. Her attitude and the things she said all through the season appeared to be colored with prejudice against Clark. However, it must be noted that it was Clark's rookie season and she was averaging 17 points, 8 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. Reeve and other veterans in the WNBA seemed to be reluctant to embrace the new talent in the league. Reeve also began to make clear her dislike of Clark. She dismissed rookies and seemed to be bored with the media attention the fans gave to Clark. Specifically, her comments on the choice of the players and the attempts to bring new entries to the Olympic list were seen as a criticism of Clark and her relevance or suitability for the Olympic team. This season's WNBA All-Star Game was not exclusively about showcasing talents. It was a stage for Caitlin Clark to showcase her talent. The annual event put together by the league saw the organization's most celebrated stars in Team USA go up against the rest of the league in Team WNBA. The competitiveness of the game from the start was cutthroat and almost unheard of for players participating in All-Star games. In simple and eloquent terms, one can say that Clark went over the top. However, although she was guarded as if it were a playoff game by Kelsey Plum, Clark performed well in playmaking. She rescued the last 3 balls and gained 10 assists, breaking the record for the most number of assists in the All-Star Game. Her vision and passing skills were in the spotlight, and she played a big role in the success of Team WNBA. While Clark only scored 4 points and the basket seemed to have no mercy for her, her role in the game can't be overlooked. As the climax approached and the cards unfolded, the game ended with Team WNBA defeating Team USA. Breanna Stewart was leading Team USA, scoring 31 points with 10 rebounds, while Arike Ogunbowale from Team WNBA chipped in 34 points. The final score of 117-109 depicted a deserving victory for Team WNBA. Not only was Clark able to show her talents, but she was able to show how she could work under pressure. Caitlin Clark proving herself in the All-Star Game was one of the most vivid examples of the big star among the league players. It was not only an opportunity to present individual glory, but also an additional chance to demonstrate to everyone who condemned her that she deserved the national team. The competition proved to Clark that she could do well in a high-stress situation and defend her performance from scrutiny given to her by her foes, especially Coach Reeve. The All-Star Game also shed light on another problem that the WNBA is currently faced with, which is the generational struggle between the OG players and those who have entered the league after. Legendary players who are in the league now, such as Diana Tassari and Sue Bird, have at one point or another aired their concerns about the new generation of basketball players. Their credit for the promotion of the game is undeniable, but their hesitance to open arms to some fresh talents like Clark has been an issue. Such a generational gap is an example of the various hurdles that the league faces while it tries to adapt to the new world. This performance of Clark also showed the interest that was being developed in women's basketball. The All-Star Game was viewed by a record-breaking 3.44 million viewers, with a 146% increase from previous year's audiences. This means there has been a vast improvement, and the competition in the WNBA has stepped up in a big way. The dynamic flow of the game combined with the outstanding level of the battle on the site proved that the league has all the chances to popularize among the fans. That is why this year's game was quite meaningful and unforgettable, because players showed the kind of passion that usually cannot be expected from the All-Star exhibitions. The events that took place right after the All-Star Game has caused lots of debates on how the WNBA will develop and what the new talents' places are. Caitlin Clark's understanding of the role and potential she has immediately became a valuable asset for the team, as well as in proving that the league and the WNBA in general still have talent that needs to be developed. The exclusion of Clark from the Olympics is something that many are still arguing over. Some people were sure that her inclusion on the roster would have benefited the team and the visibility of women's basketball in the world. On the other hand, her exclusion from the team would have become known as one of the follies that could have cost the league a good opportunity to grow the sport. This is an indication that the WNBA must act on prejudices and guarantee that any of its selection processes are as devoid of prejudice as possible. However, looking at the successes of players like Clark and the trend of the growing popularity of the WNBA, it can be stated that the organization is heading on the right track. More people tuned in to watch the game, and increased rivalry indicates that women's basketball is finally getting the attention it deserves. The WNBA has a problem in trying to sustain an appreciation to the league's older players while mentoring the rookies. With the progression of the league, it will be significant to involve people like Clark in acknowledging its development. Giving the young talents the chance to play and contribute to the growth of the league will be one of the ways to keep the popularity strong. As we look ahead, Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA is poised to shape the league's trajectory. Her performance in the All-Star Game and her ongoing contributions to the Indiana Fever have established her as a leading figure in women's basketball. Clark's ability to perform under pressure, her playmaking skills, and her role in elevating the sport's profile reflect the promising future of the league. Caitlin Clark's performance during the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game was a defining moment for both her career and the league. It was a showcase of her extraordinary talent and a powerful statement to those who had doubted her. Clark's impact on the game, coupled with the growing popularity of women's basketball, highlights the exciting future that lies ahead for the WNBA. As the league navigates its improving talents, the inclusion and support of players like Clark will be essential in driving the sport forward and ensuring its continued growth and success. If you like this video, stay tuned for more.